And so he's like, he can't pass his own gas is one of the examples. That's a really awkward time for someone to walk in. Hi, I'm Wren.
I'm Angeline.
And this is Operation Tomatometer. Today, you go.
Today we're going to be discussing recent Oscar-nominated film, Poor Things.
Yeah, Poor Things is basically this Frankenstein-esque movie where this woman is found dead by this scientist and she's pregnant and he basically puts her baby's brain into her brain, and it's basically her like experience growing up in a world that she knows nothing about and then trying to gain freedom and find out who she is.
I mean, obviously I'm going to have good things to say about this film. I think this film does a very good job of, subverting my expectations. I honestly, I had a really, dull outlook on the movie when I first went into the movie theater because, I don't know, I feel like with women and, baby brain, I think there's a really common trope in, movies where, men fall in love with this, basically baby brain woman. It's like,
sure.
It's like she doesn't know, she's not aware of the world, she's just come into the world. She's basically just been born, but it's in the body of an adult woman, so it's okay. But she has the brain of an adolescent child.
I mean, that literally happens.
Yeah, and
multiple times she's being taken advantage of.
Yeah,
almost.
But I like that the movie shows you that's weird, that's wrong. That's not something. That's good.
Yeah. I really enjoyed the character development in this movie. I mean, she goes from barely being able to speak, then to being taken advantage of by men, specifically Mark Ruffalo. I don't like him. And then she forges her own way and makes money.
Yeah.
So, yay! And becomes a surgeon.
You like Mark. You don't like Mark.
I don't
Ruffalo.
like Mark Ruffalo. He's terrible in the MCU. He's terrible in 13 Going on 30. I haven't seen much else that he's been in. But he was okay in this movie.
I think he was crazy.
Obviously he played the villain.
He has a little mustache and that was crazy.
Yeah, the little mustache, but there are some scenes in there.
Oh yeah, no.
When I tell you, do not watch it with your parents, or in my case, don't watch it with your grandparents. Bad idea.
Pauline.
Bad idea. It was, yeah. Yep.
I think I could just get started first and foremost.
Yeah.
Emma Stone, she won an Oscar.
Insane.
That was crazy.
So good.
That
this
was
is her
so
best
good in her
film.
movie. I think La La Land.
She got nominated for an Oscar.
I think La La Land is a strong contender.
No.
But I think that this is absolutely crazy. Down to the I know everyone was praising Margot Robbie for her movements as a doll, but this was
no. This was
she waddled.
Exactly.
She toddled around.
She forgot everything
baby.
She knew about society and was just okay, let's go with it.
Yeah, her movements were so unnatural.
Yeah.
Unnaturally natural, those of an infant. You know how infants just kind of wave their arms around? She had it down to a T.
Yeah, and then you could see the improvement throughout the movie. Mm-hmm. But there's a few scenes where they just focus on her face and her reactions, and they're just so moving. I forgot where they were, in Lisbon or something, and she was watching someone playing music for the first time, and there's a minute where she's just looking up at the sky and watching, and it was so powerful. And then there's another scene, I think, when Willem Dafoe's character, titled God, is dying, and she's just there, because I like to think of it as the opposite of Frankenstein.
It kind of is.
And so when her creator is dying, she's kind of learning to be on her own.
Right.
Which is so interesting. So it's the opposite of Frankenstein, because instead of the creator being accepted by society, it's the creature who's accepted by society.
Right.
And the creator who's thrown out of society.
Right.
Willem Dafoe's character has a very interesting backstory where he was tested on by his father, who was a surgeon, and he's a surgeon too. And so he's he can't pass his own gas is one of the examples. That's a really awkward time for someone to walk in. Oh yeah, I think this movie is heavily influenced by Brazil, just like color-wise and like time period mixture-wise. Like it's kind of set in the past, but also in the future. It's very interesting. And then also there are so many scenes where it like uses a fisheye lens, or like what's it called? When it's just like a circle and then everything else is black. I don't know.
That is the
but
fisheye
interesting
lens
angles.
or tunnel vision or something. But I think that's super important.
Which Brazil uses. Also, it's like extreme. It's. I don't know. Never mind.
I don't know. I just really like this film. I thought it was different, like for once. And I think that, you know, I have had a history of like not liking remakes. I don't think this is
not a remake.
This
it
was
a novel.
It's based off of a novel, but I don't even think it's based off of a novel. Different. It's so different.
It's so interesting because there's another Frankenstein movie coming out like later this year called Lisa Frankenstein.
So I think someone got an idea.
Much better.
I think no, it just came out.
Yeah.
So I think
this is so much better.
I do think that this will be much better than that. I've seen the trailer.
Yeah. Now we could talk about how this is labeled as a comedy.
I think it's kind of funny in some scenes.
See what should we talk about now? How about costumes?
I think costumes are wonderful. I don't know. I'm gonna talk about this for a little bit. I've never seen Emma Stone with dark hair. I know this is a really odd thing to say, but she looks so unnatural in it.
I agree.
You know? Which is good.
Maybe
which it adds to it. And I know everything is awkward from like their hair. Not that she doesn't look great in it, because she looks good in anything. But like, you know, I just feel like it's odd, which is good because it's supposed to make you feel.
It's so long too.
It's so long.
Like, I guess that's the point. They say in the beginning of the movie like. She's why are you laughing? She's growing so fast that her hair is growing like 1 inch a day. So it gets so long by the end of the movie, and I think that's great. Great little details. There's a lot of little details that are like they're making it so deep.
Yeah, definitely. Like it wouldn't be the movie without it. So I just want to compare it to the real Frankenstein for a little. What I found compelling was that one, you know, Frankenstein, like his appearance isn't kept.
Yeah.
But actually, Bernard Rose's Frankenstein. That's another like take on Frankenstein. It's very that stays much closer to the novel than this film does. And in that movie, like, you know, like his looks aren't kept, but his like soul is. And I think, you know, it's interesting that because she's a woman this time, it's kind of like her looks are kept and not her personality. So it's kind of like an opposite thing where, you know, it's like maybe for a man, like their soul is what's most important, and to a woman her looks are what's most important. I mean, to society at least. Yeah. So I think that is super interesting to me.
Yeah. But she becomes a strong, independent woman.
She does.
We love feminism. It's great. She makes her own why do I keep like
she makes her own way. She does make her own way.
She makes her own way.
I think that her becoming a surgeon at the end is also really interesting because I don't know, does it kind of like continue the cycle, you think?
Definitely. I mean, even before the end, like the Willem Dafoe's character had already made a second version of her, but that version is not progressing as fast as she is. And she thinks it's monstrous. Like, she thinks it's crazy. When she finds out about herself and her truth, I mean, she's beside herself, but yet she still wants to become a surgeon. So yeah, I didn't think she had to go meet her past husband. That felt a little, like, off. Like, it was... They could have ended it without
that's what I mean. Like,
without her knowing her past self. Like,
yeah. I think that, like, the whole thing with her having a past, like, they're trying to make, like the past her like a character, like especially with the whole suicide thing. Yeah. It's made more complex with the fact that she has like I guess two identities, but at the same time
they only hint to that like twice in the beginning of the movie. Like there's this time where this lady comes up to her and is like, "Oh, I haven't seen you in a long time," and then no, that might be the only time they hint to it, and then it just feels like it doesn't belong, and then it feels like they end it too fast. I would have loved to see her as a surgeon and see what she's gonna
That's what I'm saying. Like, is she also gonna like be a little evil, or is she gonna be a nice guy?
Production-wise, music-wise, acting-wise, Also plot-wise, like
everything
low-key,
came
except
together.
for that.
Like everything came together so perfectly. Like everything like intermingled. Like it was a movie. Like it was. I don't know. Like when you like get into that world, like you're in that world. Like everything belongs to that world. From this like the props to the costumes to the way people talk. Like everything is just like it belongs to that world, and you know when you watch it, you get sucked in.
Yeah.
It was a great movie.
I honestly think this is up to be a contender with Oppenheimer for a best movie in the Oscars. I think it has a chance. I kind of think it should win, but I don't think it will win because it's not like Oppenheimer was such a big blockbuster that I think that'll win. This was kind of like, I love how they're re-releasing it now, but like nobody knew about it. People knew about it, but they didn't go to the theater.
Yeah, they kind of like they kind of launch a lot of movies in December so that they can be considered for the awards. And
I do think Emma Stone will win.
No, she will.
She should.
She should. So what
would you rate it? Let's see. I think I'm going honestly 89. Like
that's a
wait, is that the highest thing I've rated this year so far?
So.
I could go to low 90s too. It was great. I think I do need to watch it again just to fully catch all the details because there's so many details. But I was impressed. Like I saw the trailer and I was like, ooh, I'm gonna like this. And I did.
Yeah.
But don't watch it with your parents.
Don't watch it with any adults. Watch it by yourself in your room. I agree with that. And I don't know. I think maybe in 88? I'll go 88. 89.
So
88.
high. That's probably our highest this year.
No, but it makes sense. It was a fantastic movie. It was a great take on a very old story.
Underrated. People should watch this.
Definitely. Yeah, people
are like,
they need to make a bigger
Saltburn,
deal out of it. They need to make a bigger deal out of it. Yeah, if you like Saltburn, you're definitely gonna like this. It's like it's not
wacky.
It's not so wacky. I think that's the new like movie era.
Which I love.
Wacky.
Why not?
Perfect.
You know, it's better than franchises. So
much better.
All right.
So thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day. You can follow us on TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube.
Watch the 27.
Watch the 20. It's coming out. Things are coming out for the 27. What did you want to say at the beginning?
Have a hawktastic day.
Oh yes. Have a hawktastic day, everyone. See you next time.
Can you pan to just like so people understand?
Thanks, Daniel.
Right. Yeah.